55.5 miles an hour on average. However, my speedometer reads 50 miles per hour. Alright, so this is another good reason why you should get a taser. I'm holding steady at 50 miles per hour. I got the cruise control on at 50 miles per hour. But since I put larger tires, I put 37-inch tires, which actually equal to be 36-inch tires. However, I don't have it calibrated to the Jeep currently. So my dashboard, my speedometer reads 50 miles per hour, but in all actuality, we're going about 56 miles per hour. As you can see, I'm using Gaia GPS to track actually my speed. Again, it's registering about 55.4 miles per hour, currently 55.5, so it averages actually to be 55.5 miles an hour on average. However, my speedometer reads 50 miles per hour. So once I get the taser installed, I'll calibrate it to read 36-inch tires, and it should correct the speedometer. One other thing it will do too, it'll actually correct the shift points. So anyway, another good reason to get the taser. All right, so now that I'm better outfitted for this weather, I'm going to go ahead and start the install. This should be a fairly easy install, I'm hoping. The first thing it tells you to do is to go online and check to see if there's any firmware updates, and sure enough, there was a firmware update. And if you have a PC, just hook it up to a USB port. You download the utility and upgrade the Mini. So the instructions are right in the box when you get it. So make sure you do that first. Save you some time later. And the install of this is basically right under here. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, right there, I believe. 2 of those plugs need to be removed and permanently installed on this Gladiator. Actually, those might be it right there. I think that is it. So I think the easiest way to get to those plugs is to remove this panel here. So let's do that. It's actually not that bad. You just got to have confidence in yourself that you're not going to break anything, because these are just clips. See these clips here? They just clip in there. And it looks like I lost one. Probably stayed in there, so I'll make sure I put that on before I snap this back together. And there we go. It's just a little tricky, but once you get those, then these should plug in to the TZR Mini, and this is a permanent install. So the TZR Mini stays in there because it does have live functions. So in order to keep them live, you have to keep this plugged in. So these only go one way. So you just make sure you clip them in there. And there you go. And honestly, I don't think you even had to move the dash. But I guess it makes it a little easier just to go, be able to tuck these back in later. You just tuck these in right out of the way. And there we go. And that should be it. All right, I did find the white piece that was missing. That piece would just go back in there like so. And then it's a matter of just lining them up and putting them back in. And that is easy. That was it. Now we get to play with the programming. One thing I did forget to mention, one of the other reasons I got this was so I can remove the auto stop feature. The Jeep Gladiator does have a way to turn it off, but The TZR Mini has a way to permanently disable it, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't want the government dictating the way I drive my vehicle, and I like my engine on, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So the next part is going to be programming, so let's get to that piece. Guys, once you get the TZR installed, this is how you will program it. First of all, you got to make sure that your screen is on the audio screen to be able to access the menu. Just like that. So right now we have it on the audio screen. What you want to do is hit the left arrow and the cancel button. And then that's the first menu on your screen. That is to activate the light show. And to scroll through the menu, you just keep hitting cancel. And it'll give you the different things. So it's given me a key not on. So one thing I forgot to do is I need to put this on run without actually starting the engine. So now it's on run. And now I can activate the actual TZR menu. So DTCs, that's your error codes. This will allow you to clear those error codes. This is to unmarry it. I've already gone ahead and married it. But you would want to do here is this menu would say marry. And at that point you would hit the cruise control on button to activate it. Basically that's your select button. So anytime you're in a menu, you want to change something, this is your select button. Preferences, you can go into the menu there. I'm going to go ahead and go in the menu just to show you what's in there. You hit the on cruise control button. This will allow you to set your tires, which as you can see I've already set my tires to 37-inch tires. Now I did calibrate these with the GPS, so 37-inch tires actually is the correct tire size for this Gladiator. I checked it against another GPS speedometer and it is right on, so I'm just going to leave it there. If I wanted to change it, if I wanted to change the tire size, I would hit the on cruise control button and then use the set plus, set minus to go up and down in size. And then once you find the right size, you just hit the select button again and it'll confirm that you've set that tire size. So this is your gear ratio. Right now that's factory at 410s. I will eventually go to 488s for this Gladiator, and at that point I can set the gear ratio to 488s. But I'm going to leave it as is for now. TPMS, this is where you can turn off your tire pressure monitoring system, or actually set it to a lower air pressure if you want. I just have it set right now for stock. I'll probably go in and set those settings later. Radio, this is where you would activate your backup camera if you don't have one, or a trail cam, which is the front camera. One thing to note, and the instructions don't tell you this, but I found out the hard way. So I installed the TZR and I couldn't get my backup camera to work. I kept getting a blue screen. And one thing that the instructions don't tell you, that if you have the Gladiator with the front trail cam, you have to set this setting to no. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into the menu and see how it says camera engaged. You have to set that to no if you have the front trail camera. By default it comes as engaged to yes, and so I kept getting that blue screen, and I called support. I had 3 different techs work through it. They actually sent me a new TZR and the same things happened. So I finally got somebody on support that knew something, and basically she told me that if I have the front trail camera, I have to set this setting to no. And sure enough, once I did that, both front and rear camera started working. So hopefully this helps someone out there. I got really frustrated. I spent almost 4 days on it, I believe. Actually, it took more than 4 days. It was actually like a week by the time I got the new camera and troubleshooted that. It was probably over a week. But anyway, it is what it is, and at least it's working. And I'm glad it wasn't a faulty equipment. It was just a setting that I didn't know about. Cargo cam, that's if you wanted to put a camera in your the back of the truck, but I believe that's the trail cam in front, so that is also set to no. The rest is really kind of preferences. One cool thing about the Gladiator too, about this Taser, is once you get these set right, you can exit the menu, but it also has live settings, and let me show you what that is. So live settings only work when the vehicle is running. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the vehicle on. Okay, so live settings allow you to change different things that basically work while the vehicle's running. One of those is it'll remember, a lot of you, if you're like me, I don't like the start engine stop feature when you're at a stoplight. I really hate that. I just think it's something that shouldn't be on a car, in my opinion. It's just, you know, all these government regulations, and I understand why the dealers come with it, but I hate it. I hate when it shuts off and then turns back on. A lot of people don't notice it, but I definitely do, and I just can't deal with it. But one cool thing about the Taser is that once you turn your auto stop feature on, it'll remember it. It has like a memory feature that next time you turn the vehicle on, it'll just automatically turn it off for you. So that's kind of cool. I really like that feature. The other cool things that you can access is, let's say you have a passenger with you and you want change destinations when you're using the navigation, and things that the vehicle will turn off normally when you're driving. This will give you the option to access those menus. So let me show you. Again, you would hit the left button and the cancel button to access those menus. And in motion is one of them. So in motion on, that means that it's when you're in motion, it allows you to access those features I just talked to you about. Turn cam off or on. Turn cam is a really cool feature, especially if you're towing. So what that does is when you turn your left blinker on or right blinker, whichever the case may be, it actually activates the backup camera. So it gives you a different view to your left. Which is kind of really cool, especially if you're on long trips or long drives. I wouldn't do it around town. It's kind of annoying around town. You know, every time you turn left or right, it turns the camera on. Not necessarily needed for in town, but if you're on the freeway or pulling a trailer or something, it's really handy. It's kind of nice. It gives you an extra view. Hood alarm, if you wanted to turn your alarm on. Dark mode, that lets you basically, if you're parked at night, waiting for somebody, or you're just parked, you're viewing the stars, whatever the case may be, you can turn dark mode on, and it basically deactivates all the lighting. So you're technically in dark mode. Video, that basically allows you to activate the backup camera while you're driving. However, there is a shortcut. So if you hit the mute button twice down here, it activates the backup camera. I'll just show you what it does. I'm not sure if you could see it on the GoPro, but if you can, I just turned on the backup camera by hitting mute twice. And to deactivate it, you just hit mute twice again. And that's the cool thing about the Taser. You can set certain shortcuts. You can have custom shortcuts. For example, this has a winch feature as well. So you can actually go into winch mode. And what it does is it pumps up the RPMs for if you're running a winch. Let's say you're running a winch, you're pulling somebody out, or you're pulling yourself out, and you're sitting there and idle.
What this does is if you activate it, it actually bumps up the RPMs, keeps the RPMs running so you have full power to the winch, which is a really nice feature. Technically, you would use this when you're pulling somebody out, or if you're just crawling up, something, if you're pulling the winch through. So it's kind of nice to have that without having to step on the gas pedal. So that's it. Anytime you do set a setting, not the live mode, for example, but when you're setting something within the menu, when you hit res, this actually allows you to reboot the system. Okay, some features you have to reboot it a couple times, and then some features you have to do a full reboot, and that's within the menu as well. And the full reboot basically boots up the whole system. It takes about 90 seconds, I think it is. It could be longer, but I think it's 90 seconds or so to fully reboot the system. And then some features require that you do it twice. 2 sleep modes is what they call it. And basically what that is that you do a reboot, and then you turn your car off, you leave your vehicle for about 60 seconds, and you take your key with you, and then you come back and you do another reboot, and you do that twice, and then once you do that, then your settings should take place. But anyway, that is the Tazer for you. I hope this helps you, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. I've got it on cruise control at 60 miles per hour, and GPS says 59.9 and 60, so it's teeter-tottering right by 59.9 and 60, so it's almost right on the money. So that's the other good thing about the Tazer, is that you can recalibrate your speedometer to match actually what the actual speed is. So it looks like we're all good to go there. Okay, so that was it. That was how you install the Z Automotive Tazer for the JT Gladiator, which, by the way, it also works on the JL Wrangler. So make sure, if you like the content, make sure you hit like and subscribe. This is just the beginning for all the mods that I'm going to put on this JT Gladiator. As soon as I get this trail ready, I'll definitely be showing some videos of the little camping trips we take, or even just day trips out, trail riding, if you will. But anyway, please hit the like, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Well, rubber side down. Peace.